I'll never forget the day I realized how lonely this world can feel. It was a Monday morning, the kind of morning where the sky looks heavy and even the birds seem too tired to sing. I was sitting alone on the bus, staring out the window at a city that felt so alive, yet I felt completely disconnected from it. People walked by in groups, laughing, talking, living, and there I was, with my headphones in, pretending to scroll through my phone just to avoid eye contact with anyone. The truth is, I was hurting inside, and no one knew it. Not my friends, not my family, not the strangers sitting 2 feet away from me. I had been struggling silently for weeks. I'd lost my job recently, a few close friends had drifted away, and every night felt heavier than the one before. The world just kept moving forward, and I was falling behind. I started to notice how invisible pain really is. People smiled at me at the grocery store, asked how I was doing, and I'd reply with the same empty, "I'm fine." But I wasn't fine. I was exhausted, mentally and emotionally, and the worst part was how normal it seemed to keep it all bottled up. Then something happened that changed me forever. That morning on the bus, a man in his 50s sat down across from me. He wasn't remarkable at first glance, worn-out jacket, tired eyes, but he looked straight at me and said, "Rough morning." It startled me. Nobody ever asked me things like that, especially not a stranger. I froze for a second before I nodded, and then he did something so simple, yet it felt so powerful. He smiled, a real warm smile, and said, "You'll be okay. Whatever it is, you'll get through it." I didn't know why, but those words broke something inside me. I felt tears well up, and for a moment, I didn't even care if he saw me cry. It was the first time in weeks that someone had seen me, really seen me, beyond the fake smile I put on every day. That bus ride lasted only 10 minutes, but his words stayed with me long after I got off, and it made me think, how many people do I pass by every day who are feeling just like I was? How many are hurting quietly, hoping someone would notice? That small encounter planted a thought in my heart. Maybe we are all waiting for someone else to care first, someone else to ask, someone else to see. Over the next few days, I couldn't stop thinking about that man on the bus. His words played in my head like a broken record. "You'll be okay," at first. It just comforted me personally. But then it became something bigger. I realized I had been so consumed by my own pain that I had forgotten how much pain existed around me to dot. So I made a quiet promise to myself. If I ever saw someone who looked like they needed someone to care, I wouldn't just walk past them. The first chance came quicker than I thought. I was at a coffee shop 2 days later when I noticed a young woman sitting at a corner table, staring blankly at her cup. Her mascara was smudged, and she looked like she hadn't slept. For a moment, I almost ignored it. After all, what if she didn't want to talk? But then I remembered how much that stranger's words had meant to me. I walked over, gently asked if she was okay. She looked startled at first, but then she nodded and whispered, "I just had a really bad day." I didn't press for details. I just told her, "I'm sorry you're having a hard time. I hope tomorrow is better." Her expression softened and she smiled just a little. I left her alone after that, but something in me shifted. It felt good, not in a selfish way, but in a human way, to let someone know they weren't invisible. After that, I started looking for opportunities to care. I'd ask the cashier how their day was and actually listen to their answer. I'd smile at strangers walking by. I started calling my friends more often, even just to check in for a few minutes. It wasn't about fixing their problems. I didn't have the power to do that. It was about letting them know they weren't alone in whatever they were going through. One night, while walking home, I saw an older man sitting alone on a bench, staring at the ground. I hesitated, but then I sat down next to him. We didn't talk much, just a few words exchanged, but at the end, he looked at me and said, "Thank you for sitting with me. It means more than you know." That's when I really understood the power of caring. It doesn't take a heroic act. Sometimes it's just sitting with someone, giving them a smile, or saying a kind word. These small gestures can remind someone that they matter, that they aren't as alone as they think. Slowly, my own pain started to feel lighter. It was as if by caring for others, I was also caring for myself. The darkness that had felt so heavy began to lift. Looking back now, I realized that stranger on the bus did more than comfort me. He taught me something that has changed the way I live. He showed me that one small moment of care can ripple out in ways we may never see. I never saw him again, but his kindness lives on every time I choose to notice someone else's pain. Every time I ask, "Are you okay?" when it would be easier to stay silent. Every time I offer a smile or a listening ear. And that's what I want you to take from this. We live in a world where it often feels like nobody cares, where everyone is busy, rushing, distracted. But you have the power to be different. You have the power to be the one who does care. Maybe someone today is sitting on a bus, feeling invisible. Maybe someone you pass is silently breaking inside. You might not be able to solve their problems, but you can remind them that they're not alone. And that reminder can be enough to keep them going for one more day. So next time you notice someone who seems off, stop for a second. Say something kind. Offer a smile. Sit with them for a moment. Be the reason they feel seen. Because when no one cares, you can be the one who does. And who knows, that small choice might not just change their day, it might change their life. And maybe, just maybe, it will change yours too.